Hi, my name is Christiana Kamichek, and I am a Gilman Scholarship recipient and alumna. I studied abroad in Granada, Spain in summer of 2018, and I couldn't have done it without the Gilman Scholarship financial aid behind me. I congratulate you for taking this first step to apply to become a Gilman Scholar. Being a Gilman Scholar is truly a unique opportunity that not many people get the chance to experience. As a Gilman Scholar, along with receiving a healthy amount of financial aid to go towards your study abroad program, you'll also have the chance to meet with the U.S. Embassy in your study abroad country, attend certain U.S. federal government functions, gain helpful insight in studying abroad, such as what to expect when studying abroad, how to safely and effectively study abroad, and more. I do want to clarify that the amount of money you get through the Gilman Scholarship varies and is need-based. By need-based, I'll give you an example of what that means. If someone is accepted for the Gilman Scholarship and in their application they made aware that they are receiving outside aid, such as other scholarships to study abroad, they will receive less money than a student who received the Gilman Scholarship and is not receiving any outside financial aid. Another personal example, I received $3,000, but I made aware in the Gilman Scholarship that I was receiving outside aid to study abroad. So I received $3,000 from the Gilman Scholarship. A friend who was in the same program as me, she received $5,000 through the Gilman Scholarship, but she was not receiving any outside financial aid to go towards her study abroad program. So I hope that makes sense. Now, I want to briefly explain the Gilman Scholarship program as the site lays out. And I am going to show you here. So we're going to Google it. I want to make sure that you have a good angle. So we go to Gilman Scholarship. Just Google it. And then you can click on this first link here. And this is a very basic website. But the key point is right here, the Benjamin A. International Scholarship Program as defined. Now I'm going to read this for you because it's very important, even though it's very brief. The U.S. Department of State's Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship is a grant program that enables students of limited financial means to study or intern abroad, thereby gaining skills critical to our national security and economic competitiveness. The Gilman Scholarship Program is open to U.S. citizen undergraduate students who are receiving federal Pell Grant funding at a 2-year or 4-year college or university to participate in study or intern abroad programs worldwide. So a key point here is you have to be a federal Pell Grant recipient to be eligible for this scholarship in the first place. So hopefully you are, and that is why you are watching this video. And now I want to take you back and outline a couple key points. So, furthermore, I want to stress the value of studying abroad. You gain experience that will impact the rest of your life, and you'll never forget the memories and friends you make abroad. You also gain valuable skills in both professional and social aspects that will give you a competitive edge when applying for jobs, internships, professional schools, and graduate schools. Very important. And I want to elaborate that as a Gilman Scholarship alumnus, you will be invited to specific workshops to tailor the skills you gained through studying abroad. And you'll be given certain insider advantages and unique career offers that those outside of this special group do not receive. Now, let's get into the application process. I want to highlight that there's a bit to the whole process, but overall, it is very rewarding. If you go to gilmanscholarship.org, which right here will be the third link, you'll see it's a bit more of a full-blown website. And really there's program overview details. I want you to go to the applicants tab because that is what you'll find most helpful in applying for the Gilman Scholarship. So here you can see there are a couple tabs on the right here. Application overview, essays, submission tips, deadlines and timelines, applicants FAQ. This is really important for you, and these tabs will help you get a good grasp on the application process, how you should write the essays, what are some typical questions that applicants have when they are applying to the Gilman Scholarship, and when you should apply to study abroad, and based on when your program starts. So keep in mind deadlines. They're very important. Do not lose track of when you should get your application submitted. You will also find that there are a plethora of to-dos, so brief break from this when applying to study abroad and for scholarships. So please make lists in the memo app on your mobile device or in a paper notebook. And over here, I have an example. This is just a one subject paper notebook, very simple, but I highly recommend buying a cheap one and dedicating it, or a journal, dedicating it to study abroad to-dos, because I use this and found it very helpful. And also, when you go into like a tablet or iPad, you have this note app right here, Notes. It's also called Memos in my phone, but that can be really helpful on the go when you just want to make a quick note about something. And I use both of these resources, and they really help me not to lose my marbles because there's a lot of info to go over when you are applying to study abroad and applying for scholarships. So I highly recommend using them because details can get easily forgotten. And while this is in my mind, please apply for a passport if you haven't already, because it can take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to get this thing processed, and you'll need your passport number for the Gilman Scholarship application along with your study abroad application. Of course, there's an expedited option for receiving your passport, but that's an extra $60 charge. So be smart and plan ahead. Cool. Now going back to the website, I want to highlight some things. So right now we're in the application overview section. So that's the first tab on the right here. And it outlines a lot of important things that you'll want to keep in mind when you're applying for the Gilman Scholarship, such as due dates. Deadline is highlighted many times, so those are important. Advisor certification. You have to have 2 advisors when you're applying for the Gilman Scholarship. A financial aid advisor and a study abroad advisor. And those 2 advisors have to certify your application after you submit it. So I highly recommend getting in contact with them and letting them know that you are thinking of applying for the Gilman Scholarship. And in the application, you'll choose what college you're attending, and it'll lay out what are the advisors. What's the study abroad advisor connected with the Gilman program, and what is the financial aid advisor connected with the program? So you won't have to do all that research yourself. You'll find that out in the application. Yeah. So the Gilman applicant newsletter is also a helpful resource that you can sign up for. It'll give you helpful hints and tips when you're applying for the Gilman Scholarship, and how to make it most effective. So, essays. In the Gilman Scholarship application, you'll have to write 2 essays. A statement of purpose essay, and I just clicked on the essays tab over here. Sorry, I didn't let you know that. But yeah. So, you'll have to write 2 essays. A statement of purpose essay and a follow-on service project proposal. So I'm going to read the descriptions of each essay. So the statement of purpose essay is your chance to personalize your application. When composing the statement of purpose essay, it is important to address the impact that your study abroad program or internship will have on your academic, professional, and personal goals. You should also address the impact that receiving the Gilman Scholarship would have on your achievement of these goals, such as making it clear that you are not financially capable on your own to pursue your study abroad program. So it is essential to highlight that in this essay. Some key points to keep in mind are the following. Now, I'm not going to go over this because I have limited time. You know how to get to this page. I just showed you. Let's go on to the follow-on service project proposal. So, the follow-on service project proposal is your chance to explain how you will give back by inspiring others to pursue their own experiences abroad. To help expand the impact of the Gilman Scholarship Program, all Gilman Scholars are required to carry out a follow-on service project upon their return from abroad that helps to promote international education and the Gilman International Scholarship. This project can be done on your home campus or in your local community and must be completed within 6 months. I repeat, must be completed within 6 months of your return to the United States. All applicants must submit a project proposal within the online application, and this proposal is closely reviewed during the selection process. Please see our frequently asked questions and follow-on service video for additional information on your follow-on service project proposal. Some key points are the following, and you can read over these yourself. I highly recommend when you're going over the statement of purpose essay and follow-on service project proposal, making sure that you hit each of these key points, because this is what they're looking for you to answer. So when I wrote my essays, I addressed each of these points. So in my outline, I had each of these points answered. And then when I formed the essay, I didn't have them in this exact order because that wouldn't be so fluid. I just reorganized them so it would be a fluid and effective essay. And then I had my study abroad advisor look it over because I found out that my study abroad advisor she held a position for a number of years on the Gilman Scholarship Revisory Board that looks over these essays. So I asked her if she would look over my essays, and she kindly accepted, and she gave me a lot of good advice on how I should restructure my essays and what focus points I should focus on in my essays. So very important. I'll include a link to my essays below this video so that you can get a grasp on what the Gilman Scholarship Essay Revisory Board is looking for. Below here we have the Critical Need Language Award. This is also very important. It is an award of up to $8,000. It's highly competitive, but I recommend if you are studying any of these languages that are here. So we got Arabic, Azerbaijani, Bahasa Indonesian, Bangla, Chinese, Mandarin, Hindi, Japanese, Korean, Persian, Portuguese, Punjabi, Russian, Swahili, Turkish, and Urdu. If you are studying any of these in any of these countries, it has to be in these countries that you are studying the respective language. If you are doing this, I highly recommend applying for the Critical Need Language Award. All right, now that we have that out of the way, we can go with some submission tips. So over here on the right, you can click submission tips and scroll down. Lovely person right there. So if you're not receiving any emails, please let them know. You will be connected with a Gilman Scholarship representative that can help you out with any questions that you have. And you'll receive emails right away as soon as you sign up within the website. So if you aren't receiving emails, highly recommend getting in contact with them. I'm going to briefly go back to Google. We're going to go to Gilman Scholarship. Uh-oh. Okay, so never mind. We're going to stay here. So, let's let's go to applicants again. Application overview. It's taking a little bit longer than I wanted. All right, so you'll see right here you have the Apply Here button. Go there, and it'll bring you to a different website, still the Gilman Scholarship website, but this is where you can apply. So you go here, applicant, and then you'll have to log in. So if you don't have a username and password to this, you'll have to register. And then they have this lovely little deadline information if you are applying. So yeah, that's what I wanted to let you know about that. So let's go back to submission tips. Contact your advisors. Please be professional when contacting your advisors and contact them early. So when you are just starting your application, please let them know that you are starting your Gilman application, and you'll be let know who your advisors are at the beginning of your application when you specify what college you're attending. So I highly recommend once you get that information within your application, you contact them. And now we have transcript requirements. So you will have to provide a current university transcript, and if you are a transfer student, the transcript from the university that you transferred from. Note that if you are a freshman, you will also have to submit a high school transcript. Now, acceptable transcripts. Official transcript, official electronic transcripts, student copy of an official transcript, photocopy of an official transcript, student copy of an unofficial transcript, web-based transcripts. Unacceptable transcripts are degree progress reports, copy and pasted documents. Yeah. First of all, unprofessional and won't be accepted. So, now that you kind of have a gist of that, we can go to the deadlines. So the spring timeline, over with, but you can get an idea of when it is for each year. So the student deadline for submission of an online application, including your transcripts, is October 2nd, or was October 2nd, 2018. And then the advisor deadline for submission of an online study abroad advisor and financial aid advisors section is October 9th. So that's the advisory certification. So that has to be completed after you submit your application. They'll certify your application. Summer timeline. So to get an idea, this is let's go back, spring timeline. Yeah. So for the summer timeline, it has two parts. So it has a early application timeline and a regular application timeline. So the early one is around the same dates as the spring application timeline. It's exactly the same for 2018. And then the regular one is March 5th, 2019 is the student deadline to submit, and then March 12th, 2019 is the advisor deadline to certify. Oh, shit, you can't see that. Okay, so, yes, so highly recommend going over this. The fall academic year timeline is March 5th, 2019, so same as the regular summer application timeline. That's the student deadline for submission, and then March 12th is the advisor deadline for certification. So, hopefully you understand that. Applicant FAQs. I actually used this site a couple times to answer some of the questions I had while I was within the application and filling out certain information, and I had a question and I kind of wanted to answer it quick. I went here. You can also, if you don't see your question here, you can contact the representative that you are put in contact with through the Gilman Scholarship Program, and they will be more than happy to help you, and they're pretty rapid in their responses. I actually used that resource a couple times as well. So, now, want to go back to the essays and make a couple points. So make sure to have someone revise your essays. Doesn't have to be an advisor who served on the revisory board of the Gilman Scholarship Essay Committee, but if you have that chance, very good opportunity. Be wise in choosing who revises your essays. So choose someone who's like a professor or academic staff. For example, who I used was my study abroad program advisor. Also, watch out for word count. It has to be exactly 7,000 characters, including spaces, per essay. This limit is approximately 1.5 pages, single-spaced in a word processing program. And the little box that you're given only accepts 7,000 characters. So be aware of that, because anything over that will be cut off. So, yeah. Be aware that the follow-on service project will have to be completed within 6 months. Again, I cannot stress that enough. You have to make sure that it's not so elaborate that you have to have more than 6 months to complete it. And that 6 months is based on your return date to the U.S. I would highly recommend following the KISS acronym, so keep it simple, stupid. Make it simple yet effective, and make sure it reaches a large target audience, especially on your home campus. If you run into difficulties in completing your follow-on service project in time, there also is an option to request an extension. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to go over. I thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you liked it. You can comment, leave questions, concerns in the comments section below this video. And I hope that you got an idea of what the Scholarship Revisory Board will be looking for in your application and your essays. And I will also include a link in below my video of my essays, so the statement of purpose essay and the follow-on service project essay, so that you can get a grasp of what an accepted essay looks like, or accepted essays look like. I am confident in your abilities to successfully apply for the Gilman Scholarship and get accepted, especially after watching my video. So, thank you for watching.